So the first thing I'm going to do over here is I can go ahead and I can trim up this audio file. So let's just zoom in a little bit here. I like to leave breaths and pickups in most cases. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm just going to trim this off. And in fact, it'd be a little bit better if I did that with the grid mode on so that these edit points are quantized and make sense to this grid. And then this one here, I'm okay with that, leaving that like that. So now I'm just going to create this loop selection. Okay, let's open it up in Melodyne. Very quickly, very easily, I'm able to see this.
I tried so hard to get this right. It's so hard to please you. Do this, do that, and now you got me mad, got me so.
Okay, so let's choose first the right scale. So we got F major. Now what I can do is I can just select this, everything here. I could go to my correct pitch slider and we could adjust our pitch drift first. And we could just slide things toward their correct pitch center. And let's see how that sounds. Go ahead and click OK.
I tried so hard to get this right. It's so hard to please you. Do this, do that, and now you.
Okay, for instance, that note, this one over here, I want to make sure that this is snapped and it needs to go here.
Do this, do that, and now you got me mad, got me.
Okay, here we have another issue.
And now you got me.
So this one is too high. So let's go ahead. We're going to zoom in here a little bit. And so you can see that I'm snapping to this scale over here. So if I go to options and I go to pitch grid, I've set to scale snap. So it's snapping to all the notes that are relative to this scale.
Do this, do that, and now you got me mad, got me so.
Okay, so those sound pretty good. But what I could do is I could just, double click them to make them perfect. And I could bring these in, double click these.
And now you got me mad, got me.
Okay, and if I wanted to smooth out any of these transitions or smooth out the amplitude, based on which blobs I have selected over here, I can just go ahead and I could choose, for example, pitch modulation over here. We'll just select that.
And now you got me mad.
That sounds a little bit too artificial for me. I don't want to kill this altogether.
And now you got me mad, got me.
So what I can do is just work note by note, make some manual adjustments.
And now you got me mad, got me so.
If I want to smooth out these transitions, the gliss between the two notes.
And now you got me mad, got me so confused.
Okay, for instance, this one here.
Confused.
If I wanted to take care of this pitch drift here.
Confused.
Okay.
Confused.
If I don't like what's happening here, I can just split these notes so that they become two separate entities, and then I can treat them individually. So I could just grab this, and then of course I can adjust this just by going like that. You can kind of keep your eye on the way this line is shown, and we can just do it till we hear the most natural sound.
Oh, confused. True, this you lied.
Okay, so this one over here, for example, I need to take care of this. This is coming a little bit too sharp here.
This you lied.
So snap this. And this one over here, at this point, I'm going to use my separation tool. Just split that. And now I have these as two different notes. And then I can go ahead and I can treat them as such.
True, this you lied. You lied.
Right? So I've just separated this and I brought this down. I can smooth out this transition.
True, this you lied. You.
And then if I want to take the amplitude down on that, I can use a pitch modulation tool.
True, this you lied. You.
And then I can further adjust this here, this point, this transition.
True, this you lied. You.
And then I would do some manual.
True, this you lied. You lied. True, this you lied. You lied to me.
Okay, I might want to take this down a little bit further.
True, this you lied. You lied.
But I don't want to overdo it because then I'm going to start to sound unnatural. So I want to make sure that anything that I'm doing.
True, this you lied. You lied to me.
I feel like I can still smooth this out a little bit further. This would be hard.
True, this you lied.
Don't want that. So we'll just got to find this right balancing point.
True, this you lied. You lied to me.
And I might need to do something with this as well. So maybe what we'll do is we'll highlight both of these. We'll adjust the modulation.
True, this you lied. You lied.
No, I don't like that. So what I think I'm probably going to do now is I'm going to put the waves pitch real time on this audio event as well. So with this selected over here, I'm going to add my plus icon, and we're going to go waves real-time mono. And I'm going to go with the same thing. I want to go with about, 50 or 60% just to kind of smooth out that back end. Pull down this transition speed a little bit. I like to pull this back just a touch, and let's see whether this helps at all. So we'll go from the top again.
I tried so hard to get this right. It's so hard to please you. Do this, do that, and now you got me mad, got me so confused. Truth is you lied to me. Promises you would never keep. And I fail every single time when you say.
Okay, there's something happening there with every single time.
Every single.
This one over here, right? We know that it's not the right.
Every single time when you say. Every single.
Okay, this one.
Every single.
So this needs to be split over here.
Every single time.
And this is still not sounding right to me.
Every single time when you said, to me.
Okay, those are sounding pretty good. We can just double click them to snap them hard.
To me, those words still lurk around inside my head.
Okay, it doesn't sound too bad, but what we'll do is we'll just straighten this up a little bit.
Around inside my head.
Okay, we got to be careful with these here because what's happening is she's bending up into this note. So we don't necessarily want to just double click it.
Around inside my head.
We need that transition to happen. We need it as natural as possible. So I'd recommend splitting all of these blobs here whenever you have these circumstances, and then you can snap certain elements.
Still lurk around inside my head.
And then I can just kind of adjust these, mess with these transition points, and maybe just even manually slide this up a bit.
Still lurk around inside my head.
And these ones here, I want to make sure that this is correct, and I can also adjust the drift here.
Head. Lurk around inside my head.
Okay, so if you remember here, on this particular part here, on this ending, we were talking about using a proper take and choosing between a balance of having something that, the tonal and the timbre of it is good, and relying on things like melodyne to get the pitch right, versus choosing one that's more in pitch, but the performance or the timbre might not be as good. So this is a good example of that. So let's just listen to an example of me turning off both melodyne and the Waves real-time tune, which is running on this audio event.
Those words still lurk around inside my head. Those words still lurk around inside my head.
Okay, let's run back to the beginning.
I tried so hard to get this right. It's so hard to please you. Do this, do that, and now you got me mad, got me so confused. Truth is you lied to me. Promises you would never keep. And I fail every single time when you said to me. Those words still lurk around inside my head.
Okay, perfect. So I'm happy with that. So at this point, what I'm going to do, just because I want to save resources here, I'm on an older system, is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this audio event, which has both of these plugins on it, and I'm going to render this, because in Studio One, when you render an audio event, that is, you render those clip-based or region-based effects into that event, it becomes a consolidated file. But if you ever need to go back to it, all I have to do is click Restore, and then I have access to my original edit points. So it's all the benefits of printing, but none of the drawbacks, right? Because we can print, but still have all of our resources, and if we need to go back to this, we can do so. All right, so I'm going to go ahead now, and I'm going to finish off the second verse too, and I'll catch up with you in the next video.